When we're talking about ego boundaries, one way that I like to think about it is like a cell wall. A cell should have a wall around it, which is a boundary. It should push things out that it doesn't need anymore, and it should suck things in that it does need. When that starts to break, things can creep in, viruses creep in that shouldn't creep in there through the boundary breaks, and the good things that it should be keeping hold of leak away. And these boundary breaks that you get are literally little parts of your psychology, little parts of your psyche, where you should be saying no. There's either nothing going on there, it's completely invisible to you, or you're actually saying yes. You're letting things in that should not be let in. It's as simple as that. That's the boundary break. Okay. So how do we fix it? In order to learn to go from being a people pleaser to self-championing, you need to see the truth of what the issue really is. If you deny the reality, you will not heal. I'm not going to go into a thing about spiritual bypassing today, but calling people-pleasing selflessness or compassion or some kind of spiritual ideal is crazy. And it's not true. It's fundamentally, it's dishonest. That's annoyingly small for you guys at the back, and it's going to be totally unfunny when I say it, but I'm going to do it anyway. So a guy goes in to the garage, and the garage man says, "There is no car," when he says, "Is my car ready?" And then it says Buddhist auto repair. Ultimately, no matter what, all this stuff about there is no me, there is no you, all this non-dualism crap, okay, fine. Tell yourself whatever story you like. If I kick you in the face, there will be a me and there will be a you. Instantly, we'll snap back into that. And ultimately, you can play whatever games you want, but you've got to get up in the morning and put your socks on. People-pleasing, being a codependent ain't cool, kids. There's nothing good about it. It's an addiction. It has to stop. I'm saying this over and over again because I know you're only going to remember a certain amount of this seminar, and I want this face, this dumb face looking at you from inside your head, going, "It's an addiction, you remember, right?" So that when you're in that moment of going, "My friend asked me to do something, I don't really want to do it, I feel compelled, it's easier to just do it," you get me going, "It's an addiction, don't do it, just say no." It's held in place, this addiction, this need, and this way of interacting with people and operating in the world is held in place by a network, a cluster of unhealthy beliefs, negative beliefs. Okay, I'm going to go through with you in something that could take about 2 hours. We're going to do it in 10 minutes. We're going to talk about belief change. I'm going to teach you how to do belief change for anything. But we're going to do it by using the beliefs of people-pleasing as an example. Whenever I'm dealing with somebody who needs to do a belief change thing, and when we're dealing with people who've got people-pleaser, the first thing I have to do is I have to identify what those limiting beliefs are. I'll keep saying it. This is not easy to see at the back, is it? Oh, you can see it? Oh, cool. Okay. We've got to identify the limiting beliefs. So the limiting beliefs of people pleasers that I've either said or I've heard clients say over the years. One thing I've heard a lot is good girls don't judge. Meaning when you're talking about, say I'm doing work with a client, I'm doing coaching, and say it's a female client, she's talking about a male narcissist who did a certain thing to her that wasn't very nice. And I say, "That was a bit of a dick move, wasn't it?" And she says, "Well, I don't really want to judge him. That's a bit mean, you know, he's got problems," and that kind of thing. And there seems to be a very strong injunction, particularly to women, not to judge. You must judge. You have to make judgments to live your life. There's nothing implicitly wrong with making a judgment. If you get addicted to being judgmental and you're being abusive, that's a different thing. But you must make judgments to protect yourself in life. There's a book called The Gift of Fear by Gavin de Becker, and he talks about how women's the cultural indoctrination to suppress intuition and to suppress judgment can lead women into situations where they can be assaulted. Because what he saw was a pattern in interviews post-assault where women would say, "I knew something was up, but I went anyway. I didn't feel good about that guy, but I went to his house to see what would happen." That's not a good thing to do. Let me tell you, as a self-protection instructor, if you get that feeling and you're making that judgment, trust your intuition. Trust it. Overreact to your intuition. Why not? You know? So that's one that I've seen a lot. This was one I lived by for years. A good son will always obey his parents and put his family first. Don't say no, ever. It's rude and hurtful. You impose hurtfulness on me with your no. How dare you? It's mean. You're mean. Don't make a fuss. Ah, that's a great one. For a victim, if I was a mugger, I love people who are like this. Those who believe, don't make a fuss, it's wrong. In the self-protection world, 90% of my time was spent teaching people to make a fuss. It wasn't all about kung fu moves. It was about getting people to scream and shout and say, no, get the fuck off me, blah, 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 and fight. Because we saw in the police reports, we had cases where there was a case, a true story, in America, guy comes in, shoots a woman in the arm. She's got no martial arts training whatsoever, but her babies are upstairs. Middle-aged lady, never trained in her life, ripped his balls literally not off, but out of place. And she said afterwards, she said, my only thought was, I'm not going to die today. So with just a boundary, just pure boundary, like, nope, nope, well, you're going to kill me, so I'll just take these. You're going to kill, these are coming with me on, okay, shoot me then. So it's powerful. It's very, very powerful when you set these kinds of boundaries, and you must make a fuss. You must be prepared to make a scene. There have been too many cases of people who've been led away to another location to have something horrible done to them because they were scared of making a scene or making a fuss. It's not a self-protection seminar, but I will leave you with this little tip, because I see this all the time in films and it drives me crazy. If anybody wants to take you anywhere, you die fighting where you are. Secondary crime scenes are bad places. Nothing good happens there. If somebody says to you, just get in this van, come up this alleyway, come in this house, just do anything you can to die fighting where you are. It's not a self-protection seminar, but that's my one piece of advice.